Hey everyone, Leo here. Welcome. Let's start with a quick vibe check. If you're sitting there right now thinking, Leo, my English is stuck. I forget words, and I sound like a broken robot the second I get nervous, take a deep, deep breath. You are exactly where you need to be. Today, we aren't cracking open boring grammar textbooks, and I'm definitely not going to make you memorize 500 irregular verbs. No way. Today is about psychological warfare. We are diving into the ultimate fake-it-till-you-make-it guide to sounding, feeling, and acting like a fluent English speaker, even if you're currently stuck in that awkward A2 or B1 intermediate zone. Trust me, confidence is a magic trick. And I'm about to show you exactly how the illusion works. Leaning in, voice gets a bit deeper and confidential. Let's start with a massive secret that native speakers will never tell you. We do not care about your grammar. Seriously, when you walk into a coffee shop, an interview, or a casual conversation in the real world, the person across from you isn't holding a red pen waiting to deduct points for a misplaced preposition. They just want to understand your human brain. The biggest barrier holding you back right now isn't your vocabulary. It's your hesitation. It's that tiny, annoying voice in your head that whispers, "Are you sure that's the right tense?" right before you speak. Before you even open your mouth, you've already defeated yourself. Today, we are telling that voice to sit down and shut up. Fast, energetic. So, step number 1 of faking it. The art of the power filler. Think about it. When a native speaker forgets a word, do they completely freeze, turn pale, and look like their computer system just crashed? No, they use filler words. But here is the secret. Intermediate students often use fillers that make them sound insecure, like or It screams, "I'm stuck." Instead, I want you to steal these 3 power phrases right now. How should I put it? You know what I mean? And it's on the tip of my tongue. Look at the massive difference this makes. If I say, I want to buy the machine for coffee, I sound like I'm struggling to survive. But if I fake it and say, I want to buy how should I put it? So, from this moment on, you are going to practice the speaker's posture. Keep your chin up. Make direct eye contact and speak exactly 10% louder than you think you need to. Even if you say the completely wrong word, say it with a smile and say it clearly. If you deliver a mistake with absolute authority, most people will just assume it's some cool modern slang they haven't heard yet. Seriously, try it. Confidence covers a multitude of grammar sins. Let's move on to managing vocabulary gaps, because this is where most A2 and B1 speakers absolutely panic. You are in the middle of a sentence, you're doing great, and suddenly, boom, you hit a brick wall. You need the word for refrigerator, and your brain is just a blank white screen. What do most people do? They stop, look terrified, and apologize. They say, "Sorry, my English is so bad." Please, promise me right now you will never say that phrase again. Do not apologize for the beautiful act of learning a whole second language. Instead of apologizing, you describe around the word. This is called circumlocution, but let's just call it the word game. If you forget the word refrigerator, you don't panic. You just smile and say, the big cold box in the kitchen where we keep the milk. Boom, done. The other person will instantly say, "Oh, the fridge?" And you just snap your fingers, smile, and say, "Exactly, thanks." You didn't stop the conversation, you didn't look insecure, you just invited them to help you, seamlessly. I remember when I was trying to learn a second language myself years ago. I was completely terrified of making mistakes. I would literally practice a restaurant order 5 times in my head before the waiter even walked over to my table. And you know what happened? The waiter would ask a completely unexpected question, like, "Do you want sparkling or still water?" And my whole beautiful mental script would instantly blow up. I stood there looking like a deer caught in headlights. That's the exact moment I realized that trying to be perfect is a trap. Fluency doesn't mean perfection.
Fluency means survival. It means being able to get your point across by any means necessary. If you have to use your hands, use your hands. If you have to make a funny face, draw in the air, or use a synonym, do it. The goal of communication is human connection, not scoring an A+ on a grammar exam.
Let's talk about what teachers call the B1 plateau. This is that deeply frustrating zone where you can understand almost everything people say to you, but when you try to speak back, you feel like a child. It's an incredibly annoying feeling. You have these deep, complex thoughts in your native language, but in English, you can only say, "The weather is nice today." It feels limiting. It feels like you're losing your true personality. I hear you, and I get it. It's frustrating to feel like you're wearing a mask that hides who you really are. But here's how we fake our way through the B1 plateau. We borrow a personality. Find an English-speaking actor, a podcaster, a YouTuber, or a character in a movie who has a vibe you absolutely love. Maybe they are calm and cool. Maybe they're energetic and expressive. Listen to how they cadence their sentences. Copy their rhythm. It's not stealing. It's modeling. When you speak English, you don't have to just be the regular, quiet version of you. You can be the English version of you. Leo in English might be a little more expressive, a little more adventurous, a little bolder than Leo in his native language. Create an alter ego. When it's time to speak English, step into that character's shoes. Characters don't get stage fright. Only actors do. Let's address the massive elephant in the room. Accents. Oh man, the number of students who tell me, "Leo, I want to completely lose my accent." Let me tell you something right now, and I want you to listen closely. Your accent is not a mistake. Your accent is living proof that you speak more than one language. It is a badge of intelligence, culture, and hard work. Never try to hide it. Instead of trying to sound like a British BBC news anchor, focus entirely on clarity and rhythm. English is what we call a stress-timed language. That means we literally bounce from important word to important word. Listen to how I'm talking to you right now. I don't give every single word the exact same amount of time. I push on the nouns and the verbs, and I slide quickly over the small words. If you get that bouncing rhythm right, your native accent actually sounds incredibly charming, professional, and unique. Let's do a little mental reset here. If you are listening to my voice right now, it means you have already done the hardest part of the journey. You've learned the basic structure. You know how to say hello. You know how to talk about your day. You know how to buy things. The foundation is built. The only thing missing right now is your own permission to make a mess.
Yes, you heard me right. I am giving you official, certified permission to make a total mess of the English language. Mix up your tenses. Forget the S at the end of third-person verbs. Who cares? The more mistakes you make at a fast pace, the quicker your brain adapts. If you speak incredibly slowly because you are trying to be 100% perfect, your brain never learns how to naturally recover from an error. Think of it like learning to ride a bicycle. You don't learn how to balance perfectly on your very first try while moving at 1 mile per hour. You learn by pedaling fast, losing your balance a little bit, steering to correct yourself, and keeping your momentum. Momentum is your absolute best friend in language learning. Keep moving forward in the sentence, no matter what falls out of your mouth. Here is an excellent daily exercise you can do completely alone in your room to build this momentum. I call it the 1-minute rant. Pick any topic under the sun, anything at all. It could be why modern movies are boring, or why coffee is better than tea, or why Mondays should be banned. Turn on the countdown timer on your phone for exactly 60 seconds and just start talking. The only rule of the 1-minute rant is that you cannot stop talking. If you forget a word, you aren't allowed to freeze. You have to say blah, 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 or make a sound and keep moving. You cannot pause for more than 1 split second. What this does is train your subconscious brain to prioritize output over perfection. It aggressively breaks that terrible habit of overthinking every single syllable before it leaves your mouth. The first 3 times you try it, you'll probably sound absolutely ridiculous. And that's totally fine.
But by the 5th or 6th time, something beautiful happens. Your brain stops panicking. It accepts that the train has left the station, and it starts throwing whatever random vocabulary words it can find into the fire to keep the engine running. That is where real, raw conversational fluency actually begins.
You know, we live in a world where everyone is completely obsessed with overnight success. We see people on social media who claim they learned a language fluently in 30 days. Let's be completely honest with each other. That's fake. Real language acquisition takes time, patience, and repetition. But the confidence to use what you already know, that can happen overnight. That is a daily choice. Confidence is not a reward you get after you become fluent. Confidence is the exact tool you must use in order to become fluent. You have to actively decide that you are worthy of being heard right now, today, with the exact amount of vocabulary you possess in this moment. Your ideas, your unique thoughts, your jokes, they have immense value, even if they come out with a few grammatical bumps along the way. So let's quickly review your new Fake It toolkit. Number 1, use power fillers like "how should I put it?" to buy yourself thinking time without looking nervous. Number 2, maintain the speaker's posture. Chin up, eye contact, and project your voice. Number 3, use circumlocution to describe around words you forget instead of apologizing. And number 4, step into the alter ego of your most confident English-speaking self. The next time you have to speak English, whether it's in a tense business meeting, an interview, or just talking to a traveler on the street, I want you to take a deep breath, step into your character, and remember, you aren't struggling. You're just performing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Believe me, you are doing so much better than you give yourself credit for. Keep faking it, keep practicing, keep making glorious mistakes. And before you know it, you won't be faking it anymore. You'll just be living it. Catch you in the next one. Take care.